God's grace, let us each welcome ourselves, each other, and in continuance of our studies together, welcome back to Stories of Our Ancestors. Today, a little file on the Dumont family. Here be a little brick that sort of will, I took a gander, this little brick will sort of be what we be talking about now. We see the Laframboise de Fafard family having just as much relevance as the Dumont family name, because together is what made them the great Canadian identity that they became, not the one separate from the other so much. So here we see Joseph LeBlanc Laframboise père, husband of Assiniboine, Josephte, She-we-na-quah. Two children are listed here. Joseph Laframboise de Fafard, also known as LeBlanc, and his sister Louise Laframboise, called French-Canadian Chateau, Chippewa, Assiniboine, all of the above mixed into that one young lady. Louise Laframboise, daughter of Josephte, She-we-na-quah, Assiniboine, and granddaughter of Josette Sarcee, called Suzette Sarcee, a Sarcee Crow woman. Her the wife of Jean-Baptiste Dumont, a voyageur with HBC, a French-Canadian voyageur, and also having a daughter, Marie Cécile Dumont, the wife of Joseph Laframboise de Fafard LeBlanc, son of Joseph LeBlanc Laframboise père. Isidore Dumont and Louise Laframboise were the parents of Gabriel Dumont, chef métis, ex-Ovide. We're going to jump back here a bit to a French-Canadian family. Jean Fafard sired a son, Francois Fafard de Delorme, of Marie Antoinette Le Verdier. Him, Jean Fafard, also sired a son, Bertrand Fafard Circe de Laframboise of Elizabeth Thibault. Now, Bertrand Fafard Circe de Laframboise was one of two husbands of Marie Sedilot, the other husband being René Bernard dit Bourgeois Sire de Bougary. We're going to take a big step back again to France now. Denis de la Hougue married Catherine Merotin, Their son was Gilles de la Hogue, and he married Marie Lebrun. Their daughter Marie-Claire de la Hogue, a fille de Roy, was the wife of Jean-Louis-Baptiste Sedilot de Montreuil, them the parents of a gardener, his name Louis Sedilot de Montreuil. First married to Marie Charles Aucherier. The mother and father, them, of Marie Sedilot, the wife of Bertrand Fafard, Circe de la Framboise, and René Bernard de Bourgeois, les Circe de Bougerie. Now, Louis Sedilot de Montreuil, the gardener, had an affair or a relationship with Marie Therese Grimaud, the widow of Bonaventure Begnon, her the daughter of Nicolas Chevalier de la Mare and Colonel de Montaguer, again the imagined person. Marie Sedilot had a brother named Jean Sedilot de Montreuil, and him also married a woman of the de la Hogue family, Marie-Claire de la Hogue. So she here is the daughter of Marie Levalon and Jean de la Hogue. So, you know, it is obvious that the son listed here is the same person as the grandfather listed above, married to Marie-Claire de la Hogue, fille de Roy. Hence we, you know, must not read more into this chart for sure, eh? The important thing is I wanted to bring up, again, here is a more clarification on that. The mistake being made, Jean-Louis-Baptiste Sedilot de Montreuil, father of gardener Louis Sedilot de Montreuil, the father of Jean Sedilot de Montreuil by his second wife Marie Therese Grimaud, the widow of Bonaventure Pagnon. The son Jean Sedilot de Montreuil married Marie-Claire de la Hogue, daughter of Gilles de la Hogue and Marie Lebrun, son of Denis de la Hogue and Catherine Morotin. So there was our confusion, and there's it solved. Marie-Claire Claude de la Hogue, the wife of Jean-Louis-Baptiste Sedilot de Montreuil, the grandfather of Jean Sedilot de Montreuil, and Marie Sedilot, were not related in any way, except maybe further down the family tree. There were a lot of people in France ere people began to earn names when you were just Jean or Jehan or Anne or Marie, Guillaume. There was no last names. There was no need for last names. The families were all interrelated in the little community that surrounded the main the castle, so to say. It is only with the spread of see, all those people were their names are not writ, so to speak, in so much the book of life as are the ennobled folk who have kept lineages and charts thereof of those lineages to prove their ancestry, as writ in the Book of Life, them being the offspring or the children of Adam, son of a god, and mitochondrial Eve. Albeit most people have a lot of confusion in that itself. We see the name Montreuil mixed with the Rue de Pin and the Morin names, but we won't pursue those here now. Now it's just a precursor to an introduction to the use of the Laframboise name, which we will overcome here in just a moment or two. Here is something. This is crossed out, so we'll look at it later. So that gives you a look at what I can see here. And this chart, in any event, involves the Nipissing and the Charlet families in relation to different First Nations folk, women at the Sato, Crematis, a Sarcee woman, and the Gladu family and the Bruneau family are also mentioned in close relation with this chart. On the Dumont family, focusing here now on Jean-Baptiste Dumont, born about 1760, an Hudson's Bay Company voyageur and the Montreal fur trader. He settled the Saskatchewan Valley. Now, he was first wed about 1785 to Josephte, Josette, a Sarcee woman of the Tusitana tribe, a Sarcee tribe, around Hudson's Bay Company, Fort Edmonton, her being born about 1765, so about age 20 when they wed. Him, just a couple of years older maybe, according to most the genealogists. They like to add a year or two onto the man if and when possible, when the dates are really just more or less ascertained, unless otherwise proven. Her second marriage was to Jean-Baptiste Bruneau, born 1760, February 6 at Beauport, Quebec. We know of him. He went and turned her over to her third man, Paul Durand de Dumont, about 1780, dans la façon de paix. Yet when Monsieur Dumont returned 14 years later, it looks like, he demanded his wife back, or called her his wife, or there's no mention of the children here. Her firstborn child with Dumont isn't mentioned on this chart. We see she did have a son with Jean-Baptiste Bruneau, her second husband, him was Jean-Baptiste Kisikawskup Bruneau, born about 1785, having first wed Suzanne Sauteau, 1842, September 19th, so the date is ascertained. Perhaps it was Red River Colony, not saying here. The second wife was Louise Montour, and the third wife was a Cree woman. His second wife died in 1842, about the age of 22. The children not mentioned for Louise Montour nor Suzanne Sauteau, but his unnamed Cree wife was the mother of Jean-Baptiste Siyakikwanep Bruneau, born about 1804, Northwest Territories, in January. Him being baptized 1844, so about the age of 40, on April 30th. It saith not where. Dying him August 1870. Having been married to Marie Cree Cool, with a K, Cool. Her born about 1816, so in her 20s. Jean-Baptiste Siyakikwanep Bruneau was next married to Marie Marguerite de Coin, 1856, April 24th. He had a daughter with his first wife, Marie Cool. The daughter's name was Marie Bruneau. Born 1837, Edmonton, Northwest Territories. Her married Gabriel Cardinal de Labatouche, born 1835, Lac-La-Biche, Northwest Territories. This chart is further continued on in another page as a scrolling chart, wherewith not included here is much more to be said of the Cardinal family. Albeit we do know the father of Gabriel Cardinal de Labatouche, the husband of Marie Bruneau, daughter of Marie Cree Cool, and Jean-Baptiste Siyakikwanep Bruneau, seems to have been married 5 times. Baptiste Cardinal de Labatouche first married Emma Mondion, mother of Gabriel Cardinal de Labatouche. The second wife was Nanette Chris. The third wife, Ope Mastau. The fourth wife, Josette Ocam Mawakines. And the fifth wife, married 1838, Catherine Brayland. Of course, the Brayland family is a very prominent Métis family. So, yeah. Josette, Sarcee, Tostina tribe, Sarcee woman, and Paul Durand dit Dumont were the parents of Paul dit Nabair. Durand dit Dumont, born about 1802, so about 7 years 7 years after her son Jean-Baptiste Kisikawskup Bruneau would be about age 8 by when she had this child. And Paul dit Nabair, Durand dit Dumont, married Marie Ahe-ke-kahna-ah-taht, a Cree Métis woman of the Beardy band. Then married at Fort Des Prairies, 1842, 18 August. 29 August 1842. And they were the parents of resistance activists. Isabelle Lafond née Durand of the Beardy band, wife of Basile Lafond, son of Marie Rosette and Amable Lafond. Now it seemeth be Jean-Baptiste Siyakikwanep Bruneau had a brother, Michel Joachim Bruneau, the husband of Catherine Ladouceur, her born 1810 Lac-La-Biche, Northwest Territories, the sister of Charlotte Ladouceur, born 1814, who married Pierre Quital. And there is a reason to look further into them names noted, but no mention why. We have talked of Michel Joachim Bruneau, so we'll just gloss over him now. The interesting thing to note here is what we failed to go into is the second wife of Jean-Baptiste Kisikawskup Bruneau. Her Marie Marguerite de Coin was the daughter of Suzanne Josephte de Charlet and Francois Deschamps, the son of French man, Deschamps, and Ahe-ke-kahna-ah-taht, a First Nations woman. So they came right out of the mists of time. And Francois Deschamps, their son, married Josephte Suzanne de Charlet at Lac-La-Biche about 1839. She was, though, married within 2 years, it seemed be, there at Lac-La-Biche to Joseph Laurent de Pissing, Papa Wu de Cote Eoril, the son of Louis Ignace Commandant de Pissing, Nani Honte, the son of Nipissing, and the mother of would be here Elizabeth Lisette Commandant Cotoril. Two other wives mentioned for Commandant Ignace de Pissing, Marguerite Desjardins and Marguerite Sauteau. But outside of just mentioning them in their relation to the Bruneau tree is enough, I reckon. We're just trying to familiarize ourselves in passing with these names so that, say, in 6 months after we've looked at 200 of these charts together, we will have a really, really deep understanding of just who's who and how they are related. And in that time, we will, of course, have spent time discussing many other simplicities and intricacies introduced onto us in passing at those moments. This chart is a very old one. It's something I made about 25 years ago. It's a very confused mess is what it is, but we'll make the best do as we can. If we can find where to begin. Here we begin again with that romance involving Josephte, here called Sarcee. Suzette Sarcee. She was noted as an Assiniboine woman, but that is crossed out and is writ then Crow. The Tustina tribe at Hudson's Bay Company, Fort Edmonton. 3 husbands are mentioned. Her first married about 1780 à la Fachon de Passe with Bruneau, which means they were shacked up. The children we were just talking about are not mentioned. Neither are the children she had with her third husband, Paul Durand, an Hudson's Bay Company employee at Fort Edmonton about 1795. Now this Durand had inherited Dumont, the second husband, Jean-Baptiste Dumont Ahe-ke-kahna-ah-taht. Ahe-ke-kahna means unshakable or immovable. Probably comes to him from the sound of the gun going off. Ahe-ke-kahna, and him yet firm and steady, holding that shot in mind until it found its source. Dumont inherited Circe when Bruneau went east. When Dumont went east, he gave Sarcee to Paul Durand. When Dumont returned west, he took her back by force. So there it sums up that love story, eh? The only children of Josephte, and Sarcee is the children of Jean-Baptiste Dumont, dit Dumont Ahe-ke-kahna. And there are several. We begin with here Suzanne Dumont, born about 1785, first wed Thomas Smith of England, and next married Josephte Mckay. Nothing more said. The next child, Jean-Baptiste Dumont dit Dumont and Josephte Sarcee, is Gabriel Dumont, buffalo hunter, born 1795 at Battle River, Northwest Territories, around the Fort Edmonton area, I reckon. He was the founder of the Lac St. Anne colony west of Fort Edmonton, whose population was over 200 by 1850. So that's an accomplishment. He married Suzanne Lucier, a daughter of Francois Lucier and the Métis woman, then wed at Fort de Prairie, Lac St. Anne, 1852, July 14th. Her had been born 1806 and died 1873, October 29. The third child of Circe and Jean-Baptiste Dumont is a daughter, Marie-Cécile Dumont, born 1800, Saskatchewan Valley, died after 1876 to June, St. Boniface. Her first wed to Jack Berger, about 1813. Married again a second time to Montreuil, him born 1800, St. Boniface. And taking a third husband, Josephte Mckay, after 1836. So there's the name Josephte Mckay, married into this family twice. First to Marie-Cécile Dumont, first to Suzanne Dumont and then to Marie-Cécile Dumont. Now, Jacques Berger and Montreuil both sired families of Marie-Cécile Dumont, which we will look at in due order. But first let us look at two more siblings mentioned here. Jean-Baptiste did Larkin Dumont, born 1801, Hudson's Bay, Fort Edmonton. Another has him born 1805, February 01, and dying 1885, October 27. As the husband of Marguerite Laframboise, then married 1834, St. Boniface, April 14th. And the brother Isidore Dumont d'Ahe-ke-kahna-ah-taht Dumont, born 1808, March 20, Northwest Territories, Saint Laurent, Paris, died 1885, July 06. So that's soon after events at Batoche, because that's the Saint Laurent, Paris area. Please excuse me. This be the grandfather of Chef Métis Gabriel Dumont. The great-grandfather, that is. No, the father there be of the older brother be Isidore Dumont Fille, whom died at Duck Lake, 1885, March 26, a martyr of the Battle of Duck Lake, him being murdered by gentleman Joan McKay. The relevance of turning this sheet of paper over from one side to the other, there is a real influence of the Laframboise line on this side, whereof the brother Jean-Baptiste Laframboise and his sisters Marguerite Laframboise and Louise Laframboise are prominent, all married together to the Dumont family, except here Jean-Baptiste Laframboise, 1806, Rupert Land, died 1870, May 16, Saint François Xavier. Him, the husband of Suzanne Landry, did Baudry, did Gaudry. The parents of Francois Laframboise, the elder. A husband of Marie Trottier and Helene Rocheblanc. And again, married into a strong Prairie Métis families, Gladu, Azure, Desjardins, Parenteau. And on this side of the page, it's verso. There's an interesting note to mention here. We're going to jump down a bit. I found a family that will hold some interest for you. This is a very interesting family that we're going to look at. I don't know where to begin, at the bottom and work up. How about we begin at the middle? Let's just start anywhere. Julienne Laframboise, the daughter of Marie-Louise Martel and Louis Laframboise, a hunter of the Pembina colony in Dakota Territory, was born 1847 November in Dakota Territory. Her was in Indiana, 1880, keeping house at Burleigh County, Dakota Territory. In 1885, she was head of the household and a laundress in the city of Bismarck, Burleigh County, Dakota Territory. Here she's called Black, and a servant to a private house in 1900. The widow of two sons, Frederick and William. Where she is first called an Indian and keeping house in Burleigh County, North Dakota Territory, and later, 20 years later, called Black, stands to illustrate some of that racism that I was talking about in prior episodes, wherewith we come across such folk as the road allowance people. Montreuil, daughter of Louise Martel, daughter of Josephte and Jean Martel, married a Swede by the name of Daniel W. Oleson, him a carpenter, and he was born November 1847 along the Red River in Dakota Territory. Making him about 50 in 1880. And him said dying in Bismarck, Burleigh County, North Dakota, 1921, April 29. Daniel W. Oleson and Montour-Laframboise were the parents of Mary Oleson, born about a twin. No. Mary Oleson, John Oleson, Eliza Oleson, 1813-11 for the census in 1880. Their younger sister Maria Della Oleson was born in 1876, June 26th, baptized in August 11th, christened by Louis Laframboise. The grandparents were Ambrose Sutherland and Marie Rechaud. The sister Isabel Oleson was born about 1880. Another sister, no, this is a son, Amos Oleson, born 1882, Bismarck, Burleigh County. Married Elizabeth Goodwin, daughter of William Goodwin, parents of Francis and Maria Lillian Oleson. William Oleson, husband of Josephine, mother of James. Frederick Oleson, born December 88. And that be them. Now, we were talking about the Laframboise family on the other side of the page. And I mentioned among a variety of different Métis families, the Azure family. So here we find Antoine Azure, the husband of Charlotte Belchier, the parents of Charles Azure, the husband of Nancy Grant, as the parents of Marie Azure, born 1873, June 12, St. Joseph, Pembina. Her marrying Louis-Laframboise Jr., the son of Louis-Laframboise, hunter of Pembina, and his second wife, Josephte Allard. Louis-Laframboise, the hunter of Pembina, being the son of Joseph Laframboise and Marie-Cécile Dumont of Saskatchewan Valley. Now, Marie Azure and Louis Laframboise are not listed as having children yet. Louis Laframboise of Pembina, Assumption, a Methodist farmer, him having married Isabel Cardinal, who had been born at Whitefish Lake, the daughter of Daniel Cardinal, maybe? Alphonse Moreau. We mentioned all that because what stands important here are the children of Louis Laframboise and Isabel Cardinal. The French Woodland Cree girl, a Methodist woman of Whitefish Lake area in Alberta. Their youngest children were Maggie and William and Flora. But the older daughter, Carolyn Laframboise, born 1885 in the Northwest Territories, married a man named James Todd at Fort Pitt in 1885 when it was attacked during the rebellion. Meaning then events which happened in Saskatchewan 1885 because of the incurrence into the stolen land by the moneyed rich of the East and their government, which rules us even into this era. And their children, and on and on. The Todd name being important, I thought you might find that curious. The Casper name is listed here. The children of Charles Casper, the grandchildren of Charles Casper and Lucinda Weeks, parents of Charles Henry Casper, husband of Marguerite Laframboise, daughter of Marie Laframboise and an unknown Métis man. Marie Laframboise, the daughter of Marie-Louise Martel. Now, we missed this last time. Marie-Louise Martel, born 1830, Red River Settlement, died 1865 in a blizzard, Walhalla, Pembina. So God bless her. Her, the daughter of Josephte Godin and Jean Martel. Again, Métis family, buffalo hunters. Charles Henry Casper, the son of Charles Casper and Lucinda Weeks, married Marguerite Laframboise, daughter of Marie Laframboise and an unknown Métis, and their children were Alfred Casper, a laborer in Burlington County, Bismarck. He married Elma Trautmann, daughter of Julia Fleek and Peter Trautmann. The younger daughter, Hattie Lucinda Casper, also a Bismarck, Burlington County, Dakota Territory, married Amisa Murray Galloway, daughter of Hannah Williamson of Kidder County, North Dakota, and Harry Galloway. James Arthur Casper, George Francis Casper, husband of Zoe, and Florence Delilah May Casper, husband of Kaya, parents of Dorothy. So these families of 1889 in Bismarck County, Dakota Territory, are different from the early pioneers which settled into Manitoba, Saskatchewan, and Alberta, wherewith them folk did not come so much so at that time, 1889. Well, yeah, they did. The North Atlantic Trade Company had been established by the Dominion government and was headed by Clifford Sifton. Him had agents all throughout Europe postering and applying for pioneers to people the new land. And mine own Ukrainian ancestors, stalwart peasants in sheepskin clothing, worked among them. Them being transferred on the Baron Maurice von Hirsch Orient Express rail line from Constantinople through points interior Europe to Paris, and by his fleet of ships to London, and then on to Ellis Island. Now, they went first from Paris to London, where they were separated. Many families were sent to Brazil, or points South America, which is why we see so many attractive young blonde Latino folk. It's because these came principally from that supply of immigrants. There were red-headed people there prior to this, because amongst the slaves in the Caribbean were not just the black Africans, but the bright white British and Irish slaves that were also used in and throughout the South America and the Caribbean. But that's, altogether another story. Maybe we'll talk about it, maybe we won't. We've got a lot to talk about as it is. We kind of looked at this. We'll take a quick peek here at this side of the page, whereof it is prominent for the Laframboise family to stand more so forth. These pages proved to me a lot of worth over the years studying. I love making these huge charts. But we'll just focus on the children here. Of Isidore Dumont et Ahe-ke-kahna-ah-taht de Dumont. Him siring these children of Louise Laframboise, the daughter of Josephte She-we-na-quah, Assiniboine, and Joseph Francois Laframboise. And we've talked of them. Isidore Dumont et Ahe-ke-kahna-ah-taht Dumont and Louise Laframboise were the parents of Isidore Dumont, fille, him the husband of Judith Parenteau. And their children were Elizabeth Isabel Dumont, who married James Ward, son of Marguerite Ducharme and John Ward. Isidore Dumont, who married Marie Boudreau, the daughter of Marie McGillis and Alexander Cayon de Boudreau. Judith Dumont, the wife of Pascal Montagne, son of Pascal Montour and Madeleine Richard. Josephte Dumont, Marie Dumont, wife of Jean-Baptiste Larocque, son of Jean-Baptiste Larocque and Louis Chartrand. Mathieu Dumont, wife of Louis Ross, son of Donald Ross and Catherine Delorme. God bless Donald Ross, the martyr. Napoleon Dumont, husband of Marie Delphine Ledoux. Henri Dumont, Frederic Dumont. Marie Rose Dumont, wife of Alexander Ledoux. The sister of Isidore Dumont Jr., Angelique Dumont, was the wife of Antoine Plante. The sister Pelagie Dumont was the wife of Jean-Baptiste Parenteau. And their children included Jean-Baptiste Parenteau, husband of Elise Champagne, daughter of Marie Batoche de la Tendre and Emmanuel Beaugrand de Champagne. Brother Pierre Parenteau of Azure at Saint Norbert. Alexandre Parenteau, Lucie Parenteau, and Marie Pelagie Parenteau. Now, it's mentioned here that she was the wife of Damas Carrier, but that's crossed out, so we know, of course, that Damas Carrier is a great martyr and the hero of the peace that followed the fall of Batoche. Him having had a rope wrapped around his neck because he looked like Riel, and it tied to a horse's saddle horn, and that horse hit in the ass and sent running, and he was found 2 days later dead. Some Indian women found him. So this again is one of those big pages, and yeah, it's about 25 years I've had this. It's helped me out a lot as a quick study guide. So this side here is more defined, I think, and we'll just run through it again, albeit you may be finding me in my repetitious nature to be so boring. HBC Voyageur, Montreal fur trader Jean-Baptiste Dumont did Dumont of Saskatchewan Valley, and his wife Josette Sarcee of Hudson's Bay Company, Fort Edmonton, were the parents of Suzanne Dumont, whom first wed Thomas Smith of England, and next was married to Joseph Desmarais. The brother Jean-Baptiste Larkin de Dumont married Marguerite Laframboise, sister of Louise Laframboise, who married his brother Isidore Dumont de Dumont. Ahe-ke-kahna-ah-taht. Them apparently were married at Fort Edmonton. The sister Cecile Dumont of Saskatchewan Valley married Josephte Desmarais. And again, we talked of that duplicity. Catherine Dumont is mentioned here, as is Marie Elizabeth Lisette Dumont, wife of Antoine Clement. Parents of Basile Jacques-Marie Clement, a Dakota cattleman who married Mary Sarcee, daughter of Hergood Road and Thomas Lestang. So the Clement was a Dakota cattleman. It's an important name. It just shows how on the one side of the medicine line, this Dumont family seemed through this daughter, Marie Elizabeth Lisette Dumont, who had prospered, insomuch as being the mother of this very important Dakota cattleman, whereas her older brother was the father of rebellion activists. Bear with me, we'll look at that family right now. Beginning with, excuse me, Captain Isidore Dumont Fee, husband of Judith Parenteau. Him, again, of Duck Lake. Gabriel Dumont, chef métis, and his wife Madeleine Wilkie. Pelagie Dumont and her husband Jean-Baptiste Parenteau. Them had several children that seem to have prospered for many generations at Batoche, including a great-great-grandchild born of Damas Carrier as grandparent, Noel Poitras, a veteran of World War II. So that was the son of Michel Poitras, the husband of Émilie Carrier, the daughter of Marie Parenteau, Marie Pelèche Parenteau, and Damas Carrier, son of Eli Carrier and Elmire Lemay. Children of Pelagie Dumont and Jean-Baptiste Parenteau. We find here Gabriel and his wife Marie Wilkie, daughter of Amabel Alice Azure, daughter of Marguerite Assiniboine and Pierre Azure. Marie Marguerite Rollinghoop Azure, maybe. And Jean-Baptiste Wilkie, leader of the White Horse Plain Saint-François Xavier, of course, is the son of Alexander Wilkie, a Scot, and his wife Mezhagamekijikok. And her is one of the great mothers of the Métis family, insomuch as her be the wife of Alexander Wilkie de Mestit, of White Horse Plain, but she is also the grandmother of Madeleine Wilkie, the wife of Gabriel Dumont, chef métis. Now, We see Gabriel Dumont, Isidore Dumont, Josephte Dumont, Xavier Dumont, Caroline Larocque, Isabelle Dumont married Marie Moise Napoleon Houlet, son of Joseph Houlet, son of Joseph Houlet. Edouard Dumont, husband of Sophie Latendre, daughter of Marie Julie Hallé and Louis Batache de Latendre. Eli Dumont, husband of Francois Houlet. And many of their children are mentioned in many of the different families. Yet, I am looking for one story in particular to tell you about, and I found it on this last page that we're going to talk about today together. And in so much as we have found it at the end, we will save it for the very end. And again, this is another look at the Dumont family in relation to Jean-Baptiste Dumont of Quebec and Josephte Sarcee, a Assiniboine woman. Son Gabriel Dumont married Suzanne Lucier. Daughter Cecile Dumont of Saskatchewan Valley married first Jack Berger. 30 children. Pierre Berger married Judith Wilkie. Daughter Louise Berger married first Henri Monroe Fisher and Jean-Baptiste Patenaude after. And La Rose Berger first married Michel Patenaude and then Joseph Deschamps. Them together were the parents of Virginie Deschamps, wife of Francois Deschamps Sr., Jr., and Anne Deschamps, wife of Laurent Polk, and wife of Alexis Bruneau. We talked of the Deschamps family last, I think. So I might leave this chart out and take a look at this name in relation to that myself, because that would be an interesting connection that I failed to find, if there is a connection. We return again to Cecile Dumont of Saskatchewan, and her first husband, Joseph Montreuil, son of She-we-na-quah and Josephte of She-we-na-quah, Assiniboine, and Joseph Laframboise, Lafard, and their children. First to mention here is the hunter of Pembina, Louis Laframboise, husband of Marie-Louise Martel, daughter of Josephte Gaudin and Jean Martel, and later married to Josephine Allard. As we've talked of their family in depth, and this chart does get confusing, I tell you, because there are a lot of unconnected names that are just linked by lines. And we have spent a long while together today talking specifically of one family, which we haven't done yet. Cecile Laframboise was the sister of Louis Laframboise, the hunter of Pembina, her métis of Montana. Joseph Narcisse Laframboise of the Turtle Mountain Reservation, Bellecourt Roulet country. Ambrose Dumont Père, husband of Justine Short. And not that we're going to close with any kind of a drum roll, because this is a sad story. Again, I draw mention to Dante and voyages through these stories of our ancestors together, and this is a story which stands out that you should pay attention to. Not that it is of any great importance to anyone, much less of any great importance to history. Its importance is in its smallness and its tenderness, whereof the first wife of Wabash Parenteau, her Montour-Laframboise, daughter of Cecile Dumont of Saskatchewan Valley, was smothered by smoke and burned in a prairie fire 3 miles east of Walhalla Territory, Dakota, along with her daughter. Their bodies were found later that same day. So, God love us all.